All right, good morning, everybody. How we doing? Good to see so many people joining virtually. It's just, we got a good crowd in the room here today too. So welcome to the community partner team. I will do minimal talking. I'm Brian Becker with the South Central Workforce Board, and we've got some great guests and a great topic today. So go ahead and move right in. So yes, let's go ahead and do introductions. So there should be a way that you guys on chat can say who you are if you haven't already, and we can in the room see you guys put that in the chat to see who's associated with what organizations. But let's go around the room, starting with Ms. Jasmine, since I'm looking over here in this direction.
Okay. So I'm Jasmine, back with the career team.
Jessica Calvert with South Central Workforce Development Board.
Frank Garabato, one-stop operator. Name's Alan Cassido, hoteling.
Chad Spencer with Goodwill Industries of Kentucky.
Tracy Hatchins with Goodwill.
Leslie Whitty with South Central Workforce Development Board.
Bill Sandell with the Office of Employer and Apprenticeship Services.
Dana Patterson with the Simpson County Literacy Center.
Pamela Pittman with Automatic Community Services.
I'm Jake Brown, Food Service Representative with the Career Team.
I'm San Cristobal, North American Workforce Navigator for South Central.
All right, so Jasmine or Jessica, could you guys kind of read off who has joined the chat or who's introduced themselves in the chat there?
Oops.
It's going fast, isn't it?
It is. I got Priscilla with Passport Health Plan, Keith Ray with Community Action and Refugee Services, Denise with Good Samaritan, Joy with Hart County Adult Ed, Beverly with Great Onyx Job Corps, Sarah with Audubon, Christy with Kentucky Farm Workers, Akemia with Jackson and Pierce Job Corps, Lisa Boswell, Shannon with Career Team, Amy with Butler County Skills View, Roxana with Vogue Rehab, and Charles with Career Team.
All right. Did we miss anybody? Okay. Thank you guys again for joining. This is the community partner team where we get stuff done, right? We need a logo. We need like a motto or like a mantra or something like, right, where we put our hands together. So we'll share news now, and I've got several things to update everybody about and some slides prepared, but let me just open it up to the group. Partner news that you guys want to share. And again, you don't have to wait till this meeting to share it. Frank Garabato is always available to take your email and forward it out to the 85 people that are currently on our community partner team mail list. So
91.
91, okay. Anybody want to unmute that's joining virtually and share anything?
I guess I can go.
Hey.
Okay. We have these brand new business cards here that talk about the work opportunity tax credit on one side and the Kentucky Fair Chance bond on the other side. So if you want any of these, I have a whole bunch. You can give them to folks that would either businesses or individuals that may benefit from this program.
So fantastic. Did somebody unmute joining virtually? Start to talk.
Hey Brian, I've
Yes.
got invited a couple of people to join us today. They're brand new. And so I want them to meet the partners because that's the people they'll need to be in contact with. They're recruiters for the Great Onyx Job Corps, recruiting students for the program. Elizabeth Robinson, I didn't see her. I don't know if she joined us, but Okemia Williams did join us, and I do see her. They're brand new to the partner meeting, and they'll be joining our team, and hopefully they'll be in the Career Center soon.
Great. Welcome, welcome. Yes, go ahead.
I'm Pamela Pittman. I'm the job placement specialist for the Senior Community Service Employment Program. Always wanting an opportunity to talk about the program and let people know about it and get the word out. It's for low income people, 55 and older, who are wanting to work. We place them at local nonprofits and they work 20 hours a week. They're paid through the program, which is funded by the Department of Labor. And this allows them the opportunity to make much needed money, refresh old job skills maybe they haven't used in a while, or learn some new job skills, so that ultimately we can assist them with finding employment in the community that's not subsidized through the program. And I do have available openings, and always also looking for host agencies, nonprofit 501c3s that would like to have our participants work at their location for that 20 hours a week. It's no cost to them, of course. And if you don't mind,
are there any parameters as far as location? Is it the entire region, or is it?
I have Union, Webster, Henderson, Ohio, Meade, Breckenridge, Hardin, Grayson, LaRue, Hart, Edmondson, Butler, and Warren counties. And I'll pass these out to everybody here.
So in our region, Hart, Edmondson, Butler, and Warren. Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Anybody else?
Brian, I'd like to give an update. We have been discussing the idea of a partner resource fair and doing those similar to what we did with the summit, with having sort of 3 regions together and doing it that way. We are looking at the week of July 25th as far as doing that. I'll be sending out communication asking for your date preferences and also ideas for locations. Ideally, if we could find a location that does not charge, that would be ideal. But if we have to go to a location that charges a fee, the board will cover that. So there will be no cost to partners. It will be strictly a resource fair to share information so that we can all, help communicate to our communities. This is what we're doing. So the week of July 25th, and again, I'll be sending out communication to try to nail down which clusters for which day.
Right. Where will there be inflatables?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There will be inflatables and paintball.
Oh, great. Well, I'm just thinking of the back to school fairs, and we could maybe make it like an adult version of that where, there's some fun for mom and dad and parents and guardians. So.
Okay. That was a joke, everybody.
That was, yeah. Hard to read the online room. Is this thing on? All right. Let me jump into other news and announcements that we have. So if you've been paying attention to any social media, Ms. Leslie Woody has been putting out recently, hopefully and if you've attended any of these meetings, we've started to do job fairs back in February. We've been offering those once a month on a Tuesday. And so we have the next one happening in Monroe County next week. Jake Brown has sort of taken the lead as our business services rep with Career Team. Jake, what would you like to tell the fine folks about next Tuesday?
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot of different sectors there. We're going to do it in the public libraries, you can see on the slide. And so any businesses that you know of that are interested in attending this from Monroe County that we haven't reached out to, please let me know. And of course, any people that are seeking job opportunities, we're going to have a lot. We're going to have a lot of different sectors there. We plan to have some business IT there, some manufacturing there, all kinds of different opportunities. So plenty of different folks can come and find jobs. It's not just for one sector or one group of people. So again, let me know and we'll get you connected to those opportunities. Thank you.
And Jake, I think we could, because we say Monroe County area, if they're a county that touches Monroe, that would be an option as well.
Yeah. And we've got plenty of slots available. We only have 3 companies that are so far designated to officially attend. We've reached out to about 6 or 7 others. But again, any opportunities that you have, we're more than welcome to take those and try to work with them to get them signed up.
I'm sorry, who do we have?
So we have, I was actually looking at that. We have a law firm that's planning to attend. I think it's, I can't remember the exact name of the law firm, but it is a law firm. And then we have a forestry company as well. And then we're planning on having Stevens Manufacturing, I believe is the name of that company. So 3 companies so far. Or I can remember the official one.
Anybody have any questions about that? Okay, so tied to that event is sort of the next news bit, and I'll go back to this one, is we started doing workshops to get people acclimated to just job skills and probably most essentially resume creation. So we started to offer these. We actually have newer versions of these that have come out, but we decided to try to offer these the week before we go to a different county for these Talent Tuesdays. So we will actually be in Monroe County next Wednesday, June 8th. So that is an opportunity that any job seekers want to come and get kind of ready for that job fair, they could. Same location there at the William B. Harlan Memorial Library. But we are also having these on a regular basis at our Bowling Green Kentucky Career Center and Glasgow Kentucky Career Center. And we just released our summer schedule for those. And so Leslie should be making posts about that unless you have already, Leslie.
Oh, it's done.
It's done. So go to the South Central Workforce Development Board or the Kentucky Career Center Bowling Green or Glasgow Facebook pages to see those. Do us a solid and print those, get those in front of people, because what we're really trying to do is just give people, more human interactions with this stuff. It's a very cool online tool, but people are very nervous to use the online tools, and a little hand holding can go a long way. So, Anna.
Brian, it's really hard to hear you.
Okay. My computer is picking up my audio. I'm so sorry, Shannon. Shannon, you're the workshop courage wizard. You should be talking about this. What would you like to tell the fine folks about these workshops? Now it's hard to hear you, Shannon. Right back at you.
Sorry. Okay. Well, we are ready for anything with these workshops. We have run into, we've run into language barriers. We have whatever your holdup is with a resume, we can leap that hurdle. We're ready. So, I mean, if you can come out if you need a resume, or if you've got questions about interview skills. It's not just to write a resume. If you've got a resume, it can be reviewed, it can be updated, or you can talk to us about general interviewing questions. We are ready for anything.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the language thing, because Anna has been attending each of these, our New American Workforce Navigator. And of course, she's fluent in Spanish and French. And so she's been able to provide some interpretation. But you see QR codes on these flyers. And when these are posted online, I think Leslie's always sure to post the link to actually make a reservation. So we do use a short little intake form reservation system. It actually gives people the option to get an email and or a text reminder when they do this. So that's a nice little prompt to get. And so if we know somebody might be able to communicate, they'll have a language need, we could make arrangements to try to see if we can get interpreters there if it's not Spanish or French. But yeah, one of the very first ones we did, we had Pashto diary going on, we had Spanish and English. It was amazing, all down in the basement of a Kentucky Career Center, folks. So it's possible. Aaron Pointer has joined the building, everybody. So welcome, Aaron. So yeah, I just wanted to make a plug for that. Like I said, have your folks check that out. Also wanted to make a plug for the Commonwealth Coders training and web development program that we have. You guys have heard us talk about this. It has been very transformative for folks. And so we are recruiting now for the next cohort, which will happen in the fall. So there is a dedicated website, nice, beautiful, glossy, brand new website. Tells the story, talks about some of the participants, actually was designed by a graduate of this program who is currently on staff with the program as well. So great opportunity. It's actually virtually available, which is hard to come by. A lot of the trainings have gone hybrid, and that's been a plus, but this one is completely virtual. And it does take somebody with zero web development skills and can tell them all about coding, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. There's a brand new testimony I know Leslie's got that's promoting. Somebody said they had no experience with this and they're just very impressed with themselves after 16 weeks. So.
And one thing I think it's important to note with Commonwealth Coders, it is virtual, but it's live. It's not recorded lessons. So it is completely virtual and you are interacting just like we're doing right now. And I think that's important for the potential students to know.
Yeah. And they make it very interactive and inclusive, and you still have an opportunity to build affinity with your classmates too. All right, moving along then. We do have a bit of a news and announcement. I don't think I've seen he's joined, or at least he doesn't have his camera on. Does anybody know if Matt Bacon has joined? Okay, Matt, feel free to unmute if you are on. But we had mentioned at our board meeting, and I don't know if we mentioned it at our partner team meeting, that Amanda Pedigo was able to get a position with the career team corporate. So that opened her position at the local office here in region open. And Matt Bacon from our workforce board has now been appointed into that slot and started this week. So we're very, very excited for Matt and for Miss Amanda there. And so just wanted to make everybody aware. So his email, Frank will probably need to get that out so you can have that, but Matt Bacon at careerteam.com. And Matt is spelled very simply like you'd expect, and so is Bacon. And so it's, yeah, and then career team is all one word. So no dots in any of that. So yeah, we wanted to give a shout out about that news and announcement. And as I always do, I want to give a plug to join the partner team officially through the website. We do have a little bit of dated information on it now, but once you're in, you get, Leslie sends you the passcode. You can see who's a part of this to be able to reach out. Or if you're saying, hey, I met somebody or I heard about a program, don't remember who that was, you go look at the email list that Frank has. It might take you a while to filter down and find it, especially if you can't remember a name, but pictures are on there too. So we do encourage people when they submit a profile to put a picture so that we can kind of jog for those of us that have a visual memory. So, all right, well, let's get into any needs anybody has. Anybody want to express anything real quick before we get into our topic? Anybody need a help, need a lead on anything? Need help, get them pointed in a direction. Everybody's good?
I need participants in the senior community service employment program. Okay. We do have, for participants that do get qualified and do become active participants, we do have supportive services as well. So that's something to keep in mind also.
Well, I'm going to just give a quick plug for an idea I've been working on for a while. So don't try to read this list, but this is just a placeholder for a Google sheet. But I've been working internally and I hope to make it available externally very, very soon. But how do you keep up with all the available open jobs that are going on, right? Everybody's hiring, everybody's bleeding for people. We get into very many meetings throughout the week here at our workforce board and career team with employers wanting to know how we can help. And one of the very first things we can ask for is tell us what your hiring needs are. Tell us who is a candidate for these kind of positions. So I've tried to keep a spreadsheet going. I used this back in the fall internally. We sent it out to a few partners. Some of you are on this meeting right now and we're receiving that. We just weren't keeping up with it very well. It's hard to keep up with it by position. So I'd rather keep up with it by sort of company and typical openings they have. But you see some categories in the middle of that sheet there. We're trying to identify who's friendly if you have a limited English proficiency, who's friendly to, second chances, who's friendly to transitioning veterans, who's friendly and has a compatible work schedule if you're a student, either in high school or in college, right? So we're trying to find out through conversations with companies. So if you guys out in your day-to-day work get information of this, we'd love to be able to get that and collect that and keep that active on the sheet, but we'd also love to share this. So the hope is, if this is at the fingertips of anybody who needs it that's working with job seekers. This is not something to print or post online. This is an internal document used for people meeting, face-to-face with job seekers or people that say, there's not a job out there for me, or I haven't heard from anybody. We want to be able to give you guys the name of the company, the opportunity, the name of the HR contact, and the application steps. We even want to be able to house flyers that are going on. So this is only as current as all of us could keep it, but this would be a great way to kind of centralize some of this stuff and avoid, like, who sent that email about that thing? Like, when was that? You know, so if we can have you guys and your staff, whoever you deem is appropriate, have this kind of a spreadsheet. I'm just calling it the employment ops, right? Like just for short, but like what are the gigs that need to be filled? And I'll explain something when you want access to this, let me know. And you can say in the chat, and Deronda, if you can do me a favor and keep up with who's saying it in the chat, there's a way in Google to do a custom filter view. And I've got this where you can see just by county, you can see by sector, without doing a sort at the top and messing up the view for anybody else who might be on the sheet. So Google lets you do that. It's a feature I found out about a couple months ago. I'm like, okay, this is a game changer. I want to let other people know how to do this if you share a document internally. And so this could be, again, sitting down, somebody wants to know what's available in Butler County or what's available in retail. We could, you know, sort these kind of categories. We also want to be able to know who's had contact with the company. So if you need more information, you could reach out and say, let me talk to Chad. Chad put this on there. Let me see if he knows the answer to that question you're asking about this company or about this opportunity. So does this sound like it would be something helpful and necessary? Okay. Because in my experience, talking to partners, everybody's got this stuff in between their ears and it's or posted and printed at their offices. But if we could all kind of share when we're getting leads on things, I think it would be hopefully a clean way to have it at our fingertips. So, all right, any other comments, questions about this?
HR contacts are really important for that.
Yeah.
For us specifically, it just helps us be able to reach out and say, what is it they need?
Yeah.
What can we do to help them get ready?
Yeah. Well, and here's what I'm finding. So some people claim they've applied and they haven't heard anything. Well, let me go look at my sheet. Okay, I'm going to call Erica Wilson at Clark Beverage Group and say, Erica, what's up? This person says they've applied. Erica's probably going to reply to you. And they may not have replied, or they may have gotten overlooked or lost and logged into, you know, locked up in the computer automated system thing, right? So there's a lot of people stuck in this mess. We're trying to introduce more personal contact. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So we're getting that kind of feedback. Let me know, and yeah, Deronda will help me keep up, and then I'll share the link and editing access. So yeah, I'll just say, let's be careful, let's be gentle, because if somebody hits delete, you know, so I'll have to, I'll probably, I know Google lets you kind of restore versions, so we'll see. We'll share it as long as we can, but
I'll just download it.
It's either
we'll just download it as an Excel and we'll look at it.
Yeah, it's either that, or we might need to create a system where if you've got stuff to add or update, you let somebody know. So that, yeah, and we can do that, because most staff, like, I want leaders at organizations to have this, or, you know, sort of director or manager level, but staff level, I want them to have read-only access, just so they don't accidentally, you know, hit a button and something's gone for everybody. So okay,
so some of what I do each month is touch base with local employers.
Yeah.
And but not as like the manufacturing side, more of a smaller scale or mediocre. But yeah, I have info for people that want to hire that I could share.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to do that.
Great. And if you've got existing contracts that you need filled with the people that qualify for your program, I mean, I think that's a legit opportunity to add to this, so that if we're talking with somebody who qualifies, we can give them the choice. Yeah. So now, again, I would say let's keep it to conversations we've had with employers. I don't think we need to all drive up and down the major boulevards and add from the marquee signs and the yard signs, right? Like, this needs to be legit, like somebody's reached out, asked for help, and we've said, yeah, we'll share it with people we know. Like, that's how it would get added.
What are the columns there where you're checking? I'm not able to see.
Oh, I was saying that that's sort of for different populations that some of our programs serve. So like new Americans or veterans or reentry, second chance students, things like that. Yeah. Yep. So, all right. So speaking of those populations, I know we've got, like I said, some great presenters in this month's topic. So I'm going to try to do this panel style and let them all kind of go one at a time. So I think half are here in person and half are joining online. So this will be fun in the spirit of hybrid service and meeting. But we're looking at partners who provide basic needs services. So basically, we had some of you who said, yeah, you wanted to share. Given that we're a 10-county region, we wanted to make sure we kind of shared the love and the opportunity, because some of these great programs only serve certain communities. And not necessarily the whole 10-county region. So I try to pull several in that have been longtime faithful or current partners here to let you guys have dibs first to share what's going on. So these are the 4 that are going to be represented. So we have Live the Proof, and we have Miss Debbie here representing them. Hotel Inc., Alan Cassida. I'm gonna go into my next slide and I guess have the faces. Logan County Good Samaritan, and then Bowling Park. So these are the names you can get familiar with as we have them share here today in just a moment. And I'll put this up again at the end so you can see their contact information. So, Live the Proof. And Debbie, you guys serve mostly Simpson County or the greater metropolitan Simpson County area, right? Denise serves the mostly Logan County, Russellville area. Hotel Inc., Alan, who do you guys mostly serve?
Restricted to Warren County, but our primary focus is West End of Bowling Green and Delafield community.
Okay, and if one of you guys could move the mic a little closer to Alan. And then we have Lisa Boswell, who's located in Bowling Park, as the namesake is, serving mostly the Metcalf and Edmonton area, correct, Lisa?
Yes and no. The homeless shelter, we take everybody from Warren County, Simpson, the whole region.
Okay, so I'll let you guys kind of work in comments about that, about maybe who can be in or who's your focus area. So I'm just gonna, again, roundtable style, sort of lead the discussion here and with questions. So tell us briefly about the main services you offer. Again, briefly, because we'll have several questions and I want to allow time at the end for questions. So Live the Proof, we'll let you go first, Debbie.
Let me get.
And you've got a microphone there, so yeah.
You sit right here?
Yep.
Check it out. Okay, we serve the Simpson County area. Our services are mostly to the homeless population. We provide all the basic needs like food. We have a soup kitchen Tuesdays and Thursdays. We do a lot of gathering we have Walmart, Dollar General store. On Tuesdays, we provide a free grocery store. So people can come that are food insecure, they can come to our free grocery store. On the 3rd Tuesday of the month, we have a health fair where Graves Gilbert comes out, Barron County Health Department comes out and does HIV testing and blood pressure testing. We have Gen Mobile that comes out that provides free government phones. We have someone else, and this is on the 3rd Tuesday. They do eligibility for Medicaid, food assistance. So those types of services are on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. On the 4th Tuesday of the month, our goal is to have job fairs. And so we have already had one with the help of Jake, thank you very much, and Shannon. So we're having employers come out on the 4th Tuesday of the month. So that's feed the need. We figure that if people can come and be fed, they're receptive and they start talking. We have a drop-in center also. That's for people that are homeless and they need to get out of the elements. So, and then they have light snacks there. That is our drop-in center. For those people that we find employment for, they're invited to stay overnight at the drop-in center. That's kind of our transitional housing where we're going. For the people that we have found employment for, we provide transportation, meals, lunches, and we partner with many partners in the area. We partner with the Literacy Center. We do some case management for those folks and begin to refer them to the services that they need. Let me see. Hold on, where was I going? We also partner with 2 Mile Giving that brings all kinds of produce and the free food. So it's, we are providing food, shelter. We partner with the Matthew 25 Clothes Closet, clothes, and we partner with Goodwill. So we try to cover their basic needs.
Great. All right. So I'm gonna zigzag it here. Let me go and toss it to virtual land and let Denise go and tell us briefly what you guys have there, Logan County Good Samaritan.
All right. We are Logan County only, and we are, sorry about all the interruptions today. We are a benevolent organization that provides food and sometimes financial assistance if they're in a crisis. Our biggest thing is we provide food, we provide referrals to other places that offer different services. Of course, we have Shannon, who comes in once a month for the Workforce Development Board. That's pretty much what we do here, is try to help those who are in need in Logan County.
Okay.
It's our biggest, what we try to do here.
Thank you, Denise.
Ms. McDonald, where are you located in Logan County?
We're located at 602 East 4th Street in Russellville, but we serve all of Logan County.
All right, let me toss it to Alan with Hotel Inc.
So Hotel Inc., we have been here for many years, and I think that our approach has changed specifically over the past 3 to 4 years. And our focus now is working on development with individuals. We started out really broad over the years and have focused down to the West End and Delafield, seeing as how there's a very high rental rate there, and there's a lot of poverty in that community. So people engage with us through partnership. So they apply to be a partner, and it's really that happens through, they get paired up with a navigator to do a case plan and work on goals. And sometimes that it includes people that are experiencing homelessness, but it also may be people that are at risk of losing their housing. And so the development part is really people need to be past that crisis and ready to start putting in the hard work towards getting back on their feet. And that's where we have to partner. We partner a lot with Goodwill. We partner a lot with the Career Center to try to work on all those different facets and of recovery, of financial stuff that's going on, health things that are going on. So we have that happens. That includes educational classes. We also have a micro grocery co-op that serves the Delafield community. That came out of a lot of the community development work that we've done with that area. And that opened up in March of this year. And that's a grocery store where it's very small, but it focuses on fresh produce, fresh meats, and Kentucky Proud products. And people can come in and purchase things there using credit card, debit card, EBT, and check. So those are our current programs.
What were you saying, Jessica? The chat?
Yes.
Somebody had a question?
Feed the Need, which county you serve?
Oh,
Simpson County.
Simpson County, okay.
I was gonna say, I think they meant to say Live Proof.
And that's a subset. Feed the Need is Live the Proof, is Feed the Need, and a drop-in center.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right.
Exactly is the Delafield community. I know where Hotel Inc. is. Is that considered the Delafield community?
Yes, Delafield community, for those here in Bowling Green, is the area. Originally, it was the Housing Authority area, Boat Landing Road, all the way up to where St. Joe's Church connects. So anything towards Hobson Grove, the Riverview area was all Delafield.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, never mind.
Okay.
I apologize.
Yeah. All right, let me toss it then to Miss Lisa. Tell us what you guys are up to over there at Bowling Park.
Bowling Park has been here for, well, this is our 50th year. I personally haven't been here 50 years, but the park has. We have a homeless shelter that I can house up to 9 if I squeeze them in. It's a 30-day program. On site, we have a food pantry. We do the commodities in the senior boxes for the county, Metcalfe County. We do emergency food for anybody. It is not income based. I've found that you could have made $60,000 last year and your breadwinner of the family has cancer and now you're struggling. So I don't ask for income verification on the emergency food. We have adult ed, the GED program, the college prep on site. Of course, Shannon comes to visit us, and We have dedicated computers for their use so they can get their resume, job hunting, do the online applications. And yeah, that's it.
You guys were great to summarize it, but it's a ton of work and I know it's more than a full-time job. So, all right, let me move into some other questions here. And we may not have time for all four of you guys to answer each of these, but just kind of what seem to be the common reasons for the barriers that cause people to seek your services. I mean, Lisa just mentioned one, a serious sickness or illness setback. What are some others?
A big one would be loss of their job. And a lot of times the loss of the job is related to loss of transportation because their car breaks down, they don't have the money to fix it. So then they consequently lose their job. So now they really don't have money to fix anything. So that's a big one that I see a lot of. And the other one is education issues. They don't have a GED or they can't read and write, or they're not confident in their abilities to fill out an application or make a resume or something like that. Those are the biggest barriers that we kind of see as far as workforce goes.
And we work with the homeless population, and so it's lack of affordable housing for them. Sometimes it's lack of basic IDs. And so we'll also help them get their birth certificate, their driver's license, their social security card. For those that are re-entering, they've just gotten out of jail and they have nothing. And so we're starting, that's just building from there.
Do you work with the re-entry councils?
Tammy does.
Okay. Because they assist with all that.
By the way, Tammy McCoy is the executive director, and it's his brainchild. And he had been homeless for 10 years, and 5 of those years he lived under a bridge. So he really understands the homeless population and what they need.
And what's his name?
Tammy McCoy.
Mental health and substance abuse are we find those to be two of the foundation issues that just everything kind of builds upon that. And so a lot of times getting people stable in that area, it can be tricky. Like we can get the job, but if we aren't working on the mental health and the substance issue, then it's hard to have success, long-term success.
We found that to be true also. Mental health, their own disability, and they just don't think that they can work. But that's not true. There's a ticket to work program. And so what we've done is we've referred them to Shannon, who has referred them to vocational rehab that works with them with their disability, whatever it is. It can be mental health disability, to get them employment that works for them and doesn't kick them off disability.
Lisa, what would you like to add?
Well, I have to concur with Denise. Transportation, especially in rural communities, is a serious pitfall, especially for the working poor. As long as the car works, everything runs smoothly. But the minute there's a big medical bill or the car breaks down, it all falls apart. Also, I would say probably 30% of the residents of our shelter have mental health issues, and long-term oversight to make sure they take their meds and that they are, to keep a job is really, it's a struggle.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. So let me move to the next one here. Have you seen the needs fluctuating here recently? Is it getting worse? Is it getting staying? And we've had a pandemic, and we all heard that there was, great need. I know a lot of the food distribution places have been very active. So what's your impression of the current climate right now with the needs?
I've seen a huge increase in mental health issues just in the last couple of months with my participants or potential participants.
So with in your case, Pam, the older populations then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
COVID hit some people hard because if they were sick for any length of time, they lost everything. So we had someone that came in on a walker and he just needed to rest and get better. And now he's slowly working his way up.
Specifically here in Warren County, the growth has made housing completely unaffordable. And so we currently have near 30 people that we're partnering with that are on the Section 8 waiting list, and we cannot find apartments that meet that budget. And so kind of right alongside that too is we don't have the wage that makes living here in the county affordable either. So employers aren't wanting to pay people, they still want to pay people $15 an hour, and for the basic, everything's going right, you know, $16.50, $17 an hour is what you need to be able to have an apartment here in Warren County.
So Hannah, just, and I'll still let others answer. Hannah, with the probation and parole program, said that if they're on probation and parole, that they have a transportation program that they can get rides to and from work, and it's a statewide program. So if anybody didn't know that.
Sure.
And then Denise is asking Hannah for more details on that.
Yeah. This is specifically to Hannah. Something that Goodwill is working on is a vans to work, vans to training program, where we're looking to give participants 6 months worth of free rides to either work or training. Hannah, I would love to set a meeting with you to discuss how you guys do it logistically, where your pickup spots, what are the most common pickup spots for people, because we have programs to combat the transportation issues. We have the Cars to Work program, where you don't have to be a Goodwiller. If you've just been working for 3 months, you get with one of our career coaches. Goodwill purchases the car, you just pay Goodwill. And I mean, it goes to 5% flat APR. And if you make all your payments on time, you get that money back at the end of your loan. And
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And then, you know, people that may have had too many DUIs, or we have a last mile to work where we can give you a bicycle. And then we want to bring the vans to work program in with that. So like I said, Goodwill switched their focus from just employment to barrier removal first before employment. And we have a lot of wraparound services that we can provide. I mean, Goodwill's not broke by any means. So we want to help the community be able to get to and from work and that not be a barrier. So Hannah, I'm going to be reaching out to you to discuss, like I said, pickup spots, logistics on when to start, when to drop off. So I'll be getting in touch.
All right. Any other comments from the providers here on needs changing or increasing?
Yeah, Brian, the need is increased incredibly for our food pantry. I built a new food pantry about 4 years ago, and I'm going to have to build another new food pantry because we have exceeded the space that I thought was going to be here long after I was gone. Also, between Leo's and hospitals, the calls to our shelters it's exceeding our capacity. Folks that go to the hospital that were previously homeless, hospitals cannot discharge them to nowhere. So they're scrambling, trying to find a place once they discharge them to put them that's a safe location. And it's become a huge problem for the area. I'm getting calls from every hospital in surrounding communities.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay.
Brian, can I go back to the transportation issue
Yeah.
again, if that's okay? So I actually am doing kind of dual roles today. I work for Sky CTC. Alice Tornado with Sky CTC, but my husband runs Refuge Bowling Green, and I'm a co-director there as well. So just wanted to update you all. We would love to have conversations with anyone in the area that is serving the immigrant and refugee populations. That's our primary focus. And we have just recently started in the past 6 months providing transportation because of the cost of gasoline continuing to rise. So we do have a program that will allow people to pay $20 a week to get a ride to and from work every day. But in conjunction with that, while they are getting a ride to work, we have one of 2 driver's education programs in this area. And we've had such a waiting list to get into our driver's education program. We start with the permit class if someone needs assistance with that, but then we do hands-on instruction. We have an instruction vehicle. We've had such a waiting list to get that driving instruction that we're adding a second vehicle for that to kind of clear up that wait list and wait time. So if you have clients who need to learn to drive, especially those who are from the immigrant and refugee community, we would love to talk to you about that to help remove those barriers and help people to be able to get their own vehicle. But if they don't want to drive back and forth because of the cost of gasoline, then we are happy to assist with transportation to and from work as well.
Excellent. Okay. All right, so let me just toss this one up to the group. I mean, what are the common misperceptions that you get from people who are not clients about your clients?
Probably the fact that people think they're all lazy. Most of the clients that we see, they're either seniors, people who are drawing disability, not just saying they're applying for it, but actually drawing for it, or their children. That's 67% of the people that we see each year. So, you know, that doesn't leave a whole lot of people who are actively looking for work. But the ones that I see, usually I see them, a lot of them, because their car tore up and they've lost their job, or, you know, something's happened, they got sick and didn't have any vacation time and had to take it, you know, just loss of jobs and things like that. But the biggest misconception is that they're lazy. They're not lazy, they're just stuck in a pattern that they can't seem to get out of. So
I'd like to add to that.
Thank you. Yeah.
The lazy perception. When you're homeless, you have no responsibility. You're just looking for your next meal and a place to sleep, and that's pretty much it. So then when you throw them into a job, and you can find jobs in Franklin that are 12-hour shifts. But to go from nothing to 12-hour shifts is unreasonable for some of that population. I'm working with a client now who's on disability and she lost her vision. And so she is stuck because she didn't know where to go, but she was so used to drifting for 3 years that she is moving slower than the normal population, working 40 hours a week to, support yourself. So what we're trying is a work experience program, and the work experience, thank you. The work experience program is practice showing up every day on time for your full shift, completing the work that's been assigned. That's work experience. Mm-hmm. And so we're having them work at the shelter to try to ease them into the workforce.
Right.
It's just a different perspective.
Yes.
We find one of the misconceptions just about poverty and the neighborhood that we work in is that economic poverty equals like a poverty and story, history, and everything else for all the families living in that neighborhood. And we've been guilty of it, even I think as an organization, to think, what can our neighbors offer? And we've done a lot of learning over the past 3 years of coming to understand, like through true relationship, that people in poverty have a lot more to offer up, and sometimes it's just the economic factor. It can be even us just looking at people and assuming that they're lazy or things like that, but that's been a big impact for us and big misconception.
Yeah. Okay, great. What can employers and supervisors do to best support individuals in need of basic services? What would you wish you could tell every employer that might be looking to hire these folks or somebody who's in a fragile situation?
The biggest thing I would want to say is they need a way to access their paycheck stubs. If they're on food stamps, if they're on medical cards, if they're applying for assistance for utilities, everybody wants to see those check stubs, and employers just don't provide them anymore, or they'll say, well, they're available online. And then 9 out of the 10 people that we see can't access them online. So getting them away or making sure that they can go to somebody in the office and get a copy of their check stubs, or, you know, it's just a big issue for those trying to get assistance and then they can't get a hold of what they need from their employer. That's a big.
Denise, is that often because they have to show that proof of income or those check stubs to access services? Is that
correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, so they can't just roll in, even though, you know, it's open and available. There might be a paperwork process that goes on, and if they say, well, I don't have it, then they're sort of SOL in that moment, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Assistance.
Yeah.
Would be devastating.
All right. What else?
Brian, I would, if employers would make referrals, make those referrals. If you see an employee struggling or you are suspicious that they need some services, rather than wait until it all goes to hell, step in and make referrals and get them help. You want to keep your employees, you know, help them out to the best of your ability. I'm not saying open up the checkbook and start, you know, rolling money to them, but refer them to the proper agencies that can support them to get over this hurdle before they end up in a shelter.
Yeah.
And then Lisa, I'd like to dovetail on that. If we could provide a list of service providers and resources in the area to the employer so that they could, that would be great.
Yeah.
Or just give them Frank's number.
Yeah. Right. Frank Garbato.
Call Frank. He'll get you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to be and helpful if employers and supervisors can be flexible and understand that, yes, when you go to work, you need to work, but you also have a life. And sometimes that needs attention. Your kids, your elderly parents, things happen. The cars do break down. Mothers do fall, you know, and just understanding the humanity side of, I'm sorry this happened, that it did is helpful.
I'd just like to mention that one thing that is being, you know, it's live now, and Aaron Pointer is here, and he's the Mac Daddy of description. But CARES is an incredible resource that employers can access and, you know, see what's out there. It's in, Aaron can tell you what counties that it's in right now, but it's expanding all the time, and it would be a great resource for employers to do exactly what Lisa was saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been like that. So yeah, CARES is an online database of resources. I know Hannah and I have had conversations. She's put some referrals in. But it's county specific, and it has been tremendously impactful with getting people back to work and eliminating some of those barriers. One thing specifically about the employers that I didn't realize till we had a conversation is I was in a meeting with an HR and actually sat through an orientation, and they were talking about all the perks and all the stuff to work with the job, but there was a specific I guess you'd say perk that this employer had, and they run right past it. They were like, oh, if you need to take a couple hours off or for this or that. And they kept using like extreme examples of stuff that happened, but they never dove into it. Well, I was sitting there thinking the whole time, because of course I do the reentry population. I was like, why do you not say, hey, if you have to take a couple hours off for court or something like that, really kind of make it realistic situations where they can utilize this benefit at their work and maybe only take a couple hours off. Because what I've noticed in working with this population, because we follow up with them, why do you go back to work? Well, I had court. I had to miss for court. I had to, always, and if we can start getting the employers to communicate that, hey, you can use this for court. We understand, it's cool. And then also doing that referrals, as Miss Lisa was talking about, if you see something, say something, if you're seeing this, and then making those resources or cares. I really push cares in the counties that it's live in. Put that in your break room, and we talk about everything. And I wanted to give a plug real quick too. Talk about transportation. Miss Lisa actually said, hey, if the car breaks down, you're out of luck. If somebody's suffering from SUD or OUD, they can be referred to the SITE program, which covers our area, and I can hook anybody up with Brittany, but they can assist with stuff like that. If they're trying to go to work, if they're trying to do better, the SITE program can really help facilitate that. I've seen a ton of success utilizing that, and that's a statewide program as well. So everybody probably has my information, my email. So I just want to give that little plug.
Oh, I got you. Great.
Is that CARES?
Oh, well, it'd be good if it's CARES, KARES.US. And we're currently live in Hart, Barron, and Monroe in our region. And then Russell, Adair, and Pulaski we're about to launch Pulaski County as well. So we're kind of hitting that center line. I cover quite an area, so I'm trying to cut through it, but it's very useful. And I actually just pulled the numbers for Hart County yesterday, and I'm headed there after this to kind of give them an update. But a lot of people are using it.
And you said SUD or OUD, and what does that
Substance use disorder or opioid use disorder. I'm sorry. I speak an acronym about half the time, but yeah, anybody from that recovery background and situation.
Thank you.
Well, let me get to the last question here. I know we're winding up the meeting, but again, maybe not everybody has to answer, but what are some appropriate ways any of us, maybe not in our service provider, have, maybe just as a normal person, right? What are some appropriate ways to assist someone who is homeless? Because I don't know how it is in other communities, but I know where there's a lot of panhandling activity, our city kind of put signs up saying panhandling is not safe. They sort of try to discourage it, and those people still stand right underneath those signs and panhandle. But we don't know if they're homeless, right? It's a sort of assuming both ways, whether they are or they're not. But what are some appropriate ways to assist?
Referral to places that can help them if you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that we've had many discussions about this exact thing, and there's a definite crisis need at times for people, and we still respond to that crisis need. I can speak for Bowling Green. We've interacted with majority of the people that are standing on street corners or that are experiencing street homeless here in our city, and we've offered up opportunities for every single person to partner and get out of that. And so we are very vocal on, like you said, connect them to something. The $5 won't bring them out of homelessness. It may help them for a day, it may help them for the moment, but if somebody's ready to get out of that, take the time to hear what their story is and hear what that barrier is and connect them to the next person that can do that. And that's the biggest thing that you can do, which takes a lot of time, and that's hard because it's so much easier to treat the initial symptom. But we continue the one, a lot, not everybody, and it's a generalization for here in the city, but a lot of the people that are very visible right now are ones that have been offered repeat attempts, or some of them are already housed too. And so continuing to feed that doesn't necessarily help.
I have a positive story, Brian, if I can share it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, I had one of my former 8th grade students who is now 18 reach out to me. He has no home. no job. He walked in with a backpack, and I said the kid's name or the young man's name, because I know him from 8th grade when I had him in class. And I said, "What's in your backpack?" And he responded, "My clothes." Of course, I had to pull it together. I had to walk away for a minute and act like I was getting something and pull it together. And I came back and I said, "Okay." And I said, "Well, first thing we need to do is get you somewhere where you can stay." And so we found a place for him to stay part-time for a couple of months. And then I immediately reached out to a friend that owns a business, and he started working yesterday, and he texted me this morning and said, "I walked to work today and I got here 15 minutes early, Miss Smith Thomas, and I knew you'd be proud of me." So, I mean, that's why we do what we do, all of us. And so I just wanted to share that. So he's trying, and I thank the business, my friend that owns the business, for giving him a job, and he's trying. So just keep that young man in your prayers, if y'all don't mind.
If you don't mind me saying something, Amy,
yeah.
We are with Job Corps, as you know, but we actually have a faster way into the program if we, for 16 to 24, of course, and if you have a documented disability, it can be over that age.
Okay.
But we do have a fast track of how you can get into our program if somebody would like to have that opportunity. We are residential. We have basic medical care. We feed, we clothe, we give them a stipend. If they happen to graduate from the trade, they're given incentives for all of this. I believe that our program would be very, very beneficial if you all could happen to be able to help us out too.
Okay, how can I reach you?
Well, there's actually 2 of us on here.
Okay.
I'm Elizabeth Robinson. Let's see here. And then we also have Miss Akemia on here.
Okay.
And I put myself on mute. Hey, I'm really good at that. Sorry, I meant to undo the video and I pushed the mute button.
You're fine, no problem.
I'm not really computer savvy, okay? But what Okemi and I will do is we will go ahead and just put our information into the chat box. But we love to reach out, especially to our homelessness communities, to try to reach out, because that's exactly what we do, is try to assist people in trying to get them to have a livable living wage and be able. And plus, let me also reiterate that we just don't stop there. We also are able to, we have a group of members also that once people do graduate from the program, we are able to place them in different areas, different sectors. We just don't let them go, we just don't just drop them off. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it.
That's excellent. So Lisa, that might be an option for you with some of those hospital calls you've been getting. If they're youth, there might be an opportunity there to plug them into the local Job Corps or the regional one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can move them through quicker if they're homelessness, because we don't want anybody to be homeless. And so that particular population, there are certain things that we don't have to have right then and there for them to move them through the program. Actually, Department of Labor wants us to bring them in quickly. That, and also our New American community is really important. The push is there to get them in a training program.
Fantastic.
I've got a question.
Yes, go ahead, Debbie.
Elizabeth, the 18-year-old, as soon as you said 18, I thought, are they aging out of foster care? Because if they are, there is the independent living program that may have resources. I know in Kansas we had area that would help those aging out of foster care. And then the Job Corps is wonderful for moving forward and getting a trade. And
great. All right. Well, I think. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but I said, well, I just have to put in another plug here. But I just learned that that some people that in our carpentry department make more money by the end of their apprenticeship more than what I make. So So I want to join the program too.
Well, and I know we've hit the end of our meeting. This has been great. It's hard to keep a topic like this, so this many of the topics to an hour. But I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So here again, if you want to reach out, ask further questions or make further connections, that's what this community partner team does every month. But certainly don't wait till the meetings to reach out or to interact or to grab somebody and make the connection there. So just a plug for the next meeting. Should we have it July 7th? We had a good turnout here today, had a few dozen people. So, but July 4th tends to be kind of a week-long vacation for some of us. But just kind of wanted to take the temperature real quick to see if we should proceed with July, and then I'd like to proceed with getting feedback on topics again. So just again, real quick, should we go ahead and try to do one? Is it keep it going? Okay. All right. Oh. Any of you guys that say yes, I might ask you to talk, but let me see what else is going on in the chat. So Denise said she'd be out. All right, so I think that, let me see if I got anything else on the slide. Nope, that's it. So, all right, we'll let you guys go. Thank you so much. A special thank you, round of applause for our presenters. You guys have a great one. Thank you so much.